Hey guys, I have been asked to show what I carry in my fire kit. For my fire kit, I use this right here. This is the Condor Sidekick pouch, I believe it's called. I love these Condor pouches, guys. Just molly all over the place. There's hook and loop in the front, and these hook and loops are actually molly adjustable. So I really like that about these Condor pouches. Usually this is how I adjust it to my operator backpack. I just molly through the molly on the backpack. I strap it through there. But I love them. This one is in Coyote, so the Condor Sidekick pouch in Coyote. And I keep my fire kit in here. So I'm going to move the camera for you guys, and we're going to break into this, and I'll show you exactly what I carry in my fire kit for bushcrafting. Okay guys, first and foremost, the thing that I love about this pouch is it has two zippers. I love little pouches like this that have two zippers. It just gives you a lot of options for opening and closing. And it also has that drain hole on the bottom, which is pretty cool. Let me start right here. Right in this front pocket, there's a front pocket zipper here. I simply keep a Fresnel Lens. That is for solar fire. Any fire you can start using natural resources is going to save you on any of the stuff that you bring for fire. So let's open that up, and I'm going to adjust this little thing. The Condor Sidekick pouches have this, so you could adjust it accordingly, and let's open it right up. Let's adjust it so it clamshells open for us. Let me just tell you guys what I consider my main fire kit is this right here, which is the Monster Ferro Rod from Nathan4071. This is my all-time favorite ferro rod right here. It's 5 inches long, and it is the perfect leverage. Perfect size. It has lasted me for a long time. I don't struggle in small places like you would with a smaller ferro rod. As a matter of fact, when I use other ferro rods, they're kind of awkward ever since I've had this one. Being 5 inches, it allows you to remove a lot of material at one time, and you can just get better leverage on whatever you're doing. I'm not a big custom handle guy when it comes to ferro rods, so all I've done with this one is just wrapped it with duct tape, and it is perfect. So this and a knife, because I sharpen the spines of all my knives. If they don't come sharpened, I sharpen them. This and a knife is mainly the fire kit that I like to carry best. But I do have all these other items in this kit. Should that not work, should I feel like playing around with some other things, just things of that nature. So this Monster Ferro Rod, so I don't lose it, I keep it right here. Take them out as we go along. The next thing I have in the next little compartment is a little fire kit, kind of. It has some jute twine, and then in the jute twine I have a striker, I have a piece of fat wood, and I have one of Nathan's ferro rods that come with the hole in them. So I always have this on me at all times. The jute twine can be a fire starter. You have your striker, you have your tinder here with the fat wood, and of course you have your ferro rod all in one little set right there. Next, I just have from firesteel.com, I have one of their strikers. These are outstanding strikers, guys. You just gotta be mindful of them and keep an eye on them because they're small, but I love them. They're great little strikers. Whoops. Next here, I have the firesteel.com Gobspark, which I've used on and off. I haven't solely had it as my main ferro rod, but what it is it closes like this, and then it opens up, so you have a ferro rod on this side with a little handle, and then you have this striker that's already on this side. And I've used it, as I said, I've used it a few times, but being that I love the monster ferro rod so much, I use this sparingly, and I keep it in the kit. It's just one of those things I like to play around with it sometimes. But it's very useful, and it holds together, and I just have a Ranger band here to keep some of this cordage out of my way. I'm a ferro rod freak, guys. I love having ferro rods. I love playing with different ferro rods. So I just have them all over the place. Down here in the middle, this is also firesteel.com. This is the Scout model. So I have a piece of Ranger band that holds that together. And it's just a smaller model. I'm not sure the exact measurements, but it comes with the striker and the little Scout. Firesteel.com ferro rods throw outstanding sparks. I have nothing bad to say about them at all. Made in the USA and great stuff. Nice to have in a pinch. What I'm using most of the time is this right here. If I'm in a pinch, I'm going to use one of those other ferro rods. But if I can help it, I always want to keep with my monster ferro rod and my knife with the sharpened spine. In this little pocket back here, I keep a bag of fatwood shavings, or Maya dust. The reason I have all these shavings, guys, is when I sharpen the spine of one of my knives at home with my bastard mill file, I usually will grab a piece of fatwood and do some shavings and test it out. Those shavings I just keep right in here. And I also have some birch bark in there. So just a little bag in case I'm, once again, in a pinch or in an emergency. A bag of cotton ball and Vaseline. Same thing. If I'm in a pinch, these are outstanding. For homemade fire starters, you can't go wrong with cotton ball and Vaseline. And I just have a little wet fire. This thing's got to be about 3 years old, so I don't know how long they last, but I have that in there. Going to the other side, I have your standard Bic lighter. I have this, I think it's a Victorinox. I don't remember what it came with. It came as a keychain tool. You can see the hole right there. It has a little knife sharpener there, which, by the way, I have never in my life ever used one of those as a knife sharpener. I have never used those pull-through things, and you shouldn't either, by the way. But this was some kind of keychain tool. The reason I still have it is that is a ferro rod striker there on the end. It's just a 90-degree piece of steel. And you could never have enough strikers. So it throws outstanding sparks. And I like to have it around for that reason. Instead of throwing it away, because I don't know what it was for or how I have it still, but works well. This here is, I think it's called a Flint and steel rope. It has this little metal end, and on the end, let me just twist it out here, it's charred. So the end that comes out of the metal is charred, and what you do is use this with flint and steel. You can catch your spark right onto that. This isn't charred really well. I'll just have to char it again at some point. All you do is char your end, and then when you're using your flint and steel, you strike your spark right onto this charred end, and then you could either cut it off and throw it into your tinder bundle, or use this to extend your tinder bundle. You put it right in and blow on it to get your tinder bundle going. The key is, once you're done, you just throw that metal piece, roll it right back up like that. And that saves the end of the fire rope, the flint and steel rope. Once again, nothing I'm going to depend on in an emergency situation, but I do like to have it to play around with. It's fun to play around with. Last, but definitely not least, my Altoids tin. Ranger band to hold it together. Inside, Char Cloth. Don't quite know what this piece of wood is. The U-shaped striker for flint and steel fires, or chert and steel in my area. More Char Cloth. I have 3 pieces of chert in here. And I keep the Char Cloth usually in this little bag, because this chert, once it rattles around in your pack, it starts to cut up the Char Cloth, almost shreds it. So I like to keep it in a little bag here to preserve it. And it's my favorite primitive firecraft. I'd never ever depend on it. I don't ever say to myself, oh, that's okay, I'll get a fire because I have flint and steel. But it is my favorite one to play around with, especially in the summertime. And then this, I have a hole in there, as you can see, because I just make Char Cloth in this. So that is pretty much the fire kit that I carry, guys. I always have it in my pack, but I'm using the monster ferro rod and the spine of my knife for most 90% of the fires that I make. So I want to thank you guys for joining me. I hope I answered a few questions, and we will talk to you again down the road, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.